everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Amy Mantis, and today I want to share with you 5 apps that you can use to make your guitar playing or your musicianship in general better. So I'm a guitar player, and I'm currently a master's student at the Longy School of Music, and some of these apps are geared towards that. Well, one of them is. Most of them are for everyone. So we'll go in order of 5 up to 1. A nice countdown. So I use more than 5, but we're going to keep it concise for today. So coming in at number 5 is Sight Reading Factory. Sight Reading Factory is truly a method for sight reading because it generates random short pieces, 4 bar, 8 bar, 12 bar, 16 bar, however long you want it to be, etudes to play along with or to get better at sight reading. Because what happens with reading from books after a while is that you're not sight reading anymore. You're just reading. So with Sight Reading Factory, it randomizes it. You get to pick your level. You get to select certain keys, time signatures. You can do challenges. They have a new feature where it's like an AI thing where it will hear you play along with it and grade you. I haven't tried that yet, but it sounds cool. Sight reading is one of the least important things for a musician who is not a performing musician or a classical musician or a jazz musician. Most genres don't require you to read. Blues, rock, pop, funk, even some jazz, as long as you can read chord charts, you'll be okay. But if you're going to music school or you just enjoy reading music, which a lot of guitar players don't, so this one might not be for you, it's something good to have around. And yeah, so that's number 5. It's a paid app. I forget how much it is, but for me, it's well worth it. My sight reading, when I use it, steadily gets better. When I stop using it, it drops off precipitously. All right, so the next app on the list, coming in at number 4, is an app I found through Jeff Schneider of Jeff Schneider Music. He's really cool. You should go check him out. And it is Politonus 1 and Politonus 2. You can also buy the bundle. I skipped that. It's got 1 and 2. And Politonus 1 is about interval training, ear training with 1 or 2 notes. So it'll play you a 1, a 4, and a 5, which are the 3 major chords in a major key, and it will give you a couple options. You can go with numbers, you can go with pitches, I think you can go with nothing as well, and just put the note in if you want to develop perfect pitch. You don't need to do that. But the benefits of developing relative pitch help you to learn songs by ear, be more creative in your playing, and have a better understanding of what's happening in music in general. So I have found it to be very helpful, and it's a fun game. I play it on the train when I'm going to school, and I think it's worth it if you have, I forget how much it costs, but somebody on here is saying that it's expensive. So if you have a spare, let's say it's a spare $5, $10, and you want to develop better ear training, this is a great place to start. It's Politonus Advanced Ear Training. And then Politonus 2 is centered around chords and intervals, triads, and 7. So we're getting more advanced here. So Politonus 1, your major scale and some chromatics. Politonus 2, more chromatics, triads, which is chords, and 7ths, which I think they mean chords. I haven't done this in a bit, but probably shouldn't tell you that. The app Politonus 2 I found to be a little confusing at first, but once I understood it, it was fun because they have these little ships that go by and stars and space stuff, so it's a fun little hang. All right, we'll hold on. That's a helicopter, and that's a plane. The perils of recording outside, but it was too nice to record inside. All right, coming in at number 3 is a Metronome app. And you might be thinking, Amy, why isn't this number 1? You're always saying that playing in time is really important. It is. But there are other things that also let you do that I'm going to get to. But having a metronome on your phone is so handy. I personally like to use an external metronome. I have a Korg KA15 that I've had since I was like 15. I don't know how it still works. I'm thinking about getting a Dr. Beat because I'm that kind of person. But having one on my phone I found to be very helpful when teaching and when I'm in a pinch. And the one that I use is called Pro Metronome, and I paid for it because I wanted all the features and probably didn't want to have ads on it. And I discovered that it's got some really cool features. You can set timers on there, and things will stop when the timer stops. You can set it so that after a few minutes, the tempo goes up or it goes down. And I am kind of kicking myself for not knowing that sooner, because it just would have made things a little bit more seamless when I practice. But you should have it on your phone, because a lot of us have our phones with us all the time. I'm recording this on my phone right now. So yeah, metronomes are great. We don't love them, but we need to use them. Coming in at number 2, and this is why metronome is at number 1, Drum Genius. I've talked about Drum Genius before, but I was turned on to it about a year ago, and I hardly used the metronome for about a year because I was so enamored with Drum Genius, because it's so much more fun to play along with drums. And these are real live drums that were recorded and then taken somehow via sampling or whatever, I have no idea, and made into an app. And the app, I want to say, was $7, and you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drum tracks. And the tempo's customizable. You've got everything from jazz to hip hop to funk to rock to pop to country. And there's even a metronome app within it if you want to use that too. It's worth checking out if you want to groove more. I find it to be really helpful when I'm improvising or working on improvising, or have a musical idea that I want to try in real time, so to speak, and not just play with the metronome. Nothing is better than playing with other people, but this might be the next best thing. And then number 1, the Mac Daddy, the one that I would tell anybody to get, and that I do tell everybody to get, the Amazing Slowdowner. It single-handedly has done more for me than any other music app ever. And my beloved guitar teacher when I was in high school, I was 16, he told me probably one of our first or second lessons to get the CD-ROM software. This was in like 2006 or 2007, to get the CD software and use it to slow down solos, to learn how to play them better and get through them faster, and to work on ear training and all kinds of important things that I did not do via Amazing Slowdowner until I was probably 23. Like, I went through Berkeley without this, and that was silly. So yeah, I was listening to my high school friends and thinking along their lines that if I did that, I was cheating, that if I was slowing things down, I was cheating, that if I was getting help like that, I was cheating. No, you're not cheating if you do that. You develop your ear much faster. And not only do you get to slow things down, they stay in the same key, so you don't have to worry about that, and you get to speed it up, and you can loop a part. So if you're working on a 4-bar phrase that you're having a hard time with, you just set it on a loop until you get it, and then you increase the tempo a little bit. The only downside to Amazing Slowdowner now is that you have to use Apple Music or have your own catalog, uploaded CD style, whatever, from like 2002, like we all used to do. Remember with iPods? Oh man, what a time. But it's the only thing that I don't like about it, because I was a Spotify user because I like the interface, but I digress. I believe in this app so much that I implore my students to get it, and I even got it for one of them as a graduation gift. So those are my top 5 ones. To recap: Sight Reading Factory, Politonus 1 and 2, Metronome, I use Pro Metronome, Drum Genius, and the Amazing Slowdowner. So if you get any of them, you will get better faster. If you get all of them, maybe don't get Sight Reading Factory if you don't need it. Sorry guys, this isn't an ad. This is my honest opinion. But the other 4, well worth your while. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll be back again real soon with something else for you. Cheers.